Well, hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Bushka, and today we are talking about Disco Mountain. This is my favorite joint. This is where I like to go on this side of the map and say, come at me, bros. And I mean, I don't have any other way of expressing it. It really, this is my favorite place. Like when I'm just, you know, feeling in a low ebb and I want to get out and have that kind of come at me bro experience, I will get a car 98 and I will come and stand on the mountaintop just near ruins and say, hey world, throw your best punch, let's see what you got, I'll do my best, you do your best, and together we'll get an answer to the age-old question of are you good enough? So I'm going to start you off with a different position, obviously, a different location, in another game, not this one, although we did actually get a chicken dinner in this game, but, you know, anyway, the other game was better. And then break down the tactical ideas behind it and get to one of the reasons why I love this area so much and how you can actually use the tactics and the gameplay that I'm exhibiting there to put that into your own personality and your own profile and do really, really well with it. Now, I'm being a bit of a grub here. I started off in military base, and I've come a long way. Come a long way, baby. And I've ended up, like, how's the odds on that? I actually got into this little hut and didn't have an 8x scope. And on the floor of this little hut that I wanted to use to get rid of these grubs that are camping apartments and military base, I found an 8x scope. Apartments and school, I found an 8x scope. Now, this isn't really what the game's all about, but I did want to highlight this position, and it's one of the reasons why I chose this game over the other game that I just had and I was showing you earlier. A lot of people know about this spot here, but it's especially effective when you get mid to late game, and you get guys, like there's so many people that will drop apartments, and they will not move. They will just sit there and sit there and sit there and sit there and sit there. And look, I don't think the loot's even that good at apartments. You've got to go through an awful lot of rooms to get the same kind of stuff that you can get in numerous other places around the map, while you take kind of the same risks. Like a lot of people will drop those apartment blocks near school. And I don't really understand why. But if you get here late game, don't push down into them. Take whatever you've got that has a scope and any kind of single shot capability and move up to this kind of ledged terraced area here. You get cover from the guys behind you. Most spots on hills, if you are shooting, anyone that is above you will be able to look down the hill and see you. That's not the case here. And not just that, anyone that comes down the hill, you'll hear them in your headphones before they actually get a hold of you. And you'll be able to cover off on guys moving around in cars. You'll be able to shoot people on the roofs of the apartment blocks. You'll be able to shoot people on the roofs of school. And you can always duck back into this little hut here and med back up or hide behind the hut or go further up the hill. It's got a lot of flexibility from it and a lot of versatility from this site. You can see here, I love me some M416. Like I'll drop the Mini all day long to grab an M416 with an 8x scope. I'm going to really miss the 8x scope on the M416 when the next patch pops, but it's absolutely deserved that the ARs don't get access to that kind of tomfoolery and skullduggery anymore. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so here we go. Let's talk about it. This is a great spot. Now, it seems irrationally stupid to just come over here and go, hey, everyone, I'm on top of a mountain. Let's have a sniper fight. But number one, sniper fights are the best. So stick that up your Jats cracker. And number two, there's actually a bit of a game mechanic that you can exploit. Now, some of you are probably aware of this, others not so much. But if you're at any kind of range, it becomes very, very difficult to hit people when they are on top of these mountains. The very peak of the mountain doesn't seem to render, which is frustrating as all hell. And it's one of the reasons why I like to take advantage of it. And I come out here and you can see this guy, like an M416. He's like, oh, hang on, I didn't buy that for $1. Sit right down. It's really cool. You can get up here, and when you move from one side of the mountain to the other, you might still be visible to people, but quite often they won't be able to hit you. Now that guy certainly hit me. He hit me square between the eyeballs, and this is where you'll come a cropper if you don't watch out. Now this is a little bit aggressive. He's got a Kar 98 though. That's the only thing that's going to do one-shot damage like that to my chest. It's not a crate drop, and he does in fact have a Kar 98. I know because I went down there and checked his gear. So I'm pretty certain if I put pressure on people with single-shot rifles, you can really make them move and lose. Now, this is like Bushka's quiet place. Let's call it Disco Mountain. Disco Mountain is a great space to be in. It's very, very simple, the concept. If you have overlook on pretty much a 360-degree area around you, and you're a good enough sniper, and you're tactically able to keep your head on a swivel, what you can do that works really, really well is just move to the other side of the peak when people start attacking you and use that area to cover. Now, when it goes really south is when you get people on both sides. But luckily, this isn't just any old mountain. At the top of the mountain there is a heap of rough terrain. And you can see that here. If you look, you can see that it's not just a straight uphill. There's really nicely modeled crevices, and there are swales in the rock, and you can see if you get people shooting at you from multiple angles, there are a lot of areas that you can actually hide in. So I find that to be an excellent panacea for multiple fronts at once. You can see you can move around here, back to where I parked my car. And there's a reason I parked my car in that little nook and that crevice. It's because that's the ideal place to go when you're getting a little bit of strife. So Disco Mountain is an ideal place to be if you want to have fun and you want engagements. One of the biggest problems with PUBG Mobile is if you're in the mood to get a little bit amorous and glamorous with people and have gunfights, you can't just go and find them. What you really want to do is bite off the biggest slice of territory that you can cover and you can get overlook on. Now, in this case, you get a 360-degree view. You get the Sunken City, which a lot of people loot. You get to overlook people moving down from Pachinki, which is another very, very hot spot. You get people coming through from school, apartments. You get people coming through from crates, heading back to school apartments. It's kind of like a crossroads. It's like the hub of this section of the map. And that's really, really important if you want to have fun. And if you don't want to have fun, then I can't help you, because there's not many people out there who care what rating you are or what your kill to death ratio is. Mostly, the only person you're playing this game for is yourself. Now, I want to play well, and I want to get better, and I want to improve, and I want to have a good time. And I try and combine all those things into these kind of videos, because for me, spots like this are what makes my socks roll up and down. Now you can see what the other thing that makes my socks roll up and down is the M416. I mean, that bloke got stuck. He got screwed running in. Here's another bloke who heard the sounds and came over here to check out what they were on. And it's just like tap, tap, tap-a-roo, cleaning house. Things get tough here. Actually, this is the other video which I showed you at the start of this, where we won a chicken dinner. We won a chicken dinner in the same spot. I'll show you that first. Yeah, I wasn't going to show you, but oh man, I just realized that's the same freaking car that I was using in the other game. And you can see this is on realistic graphics too, and the other one's on colorful. So have a look at those two and tell me which one you think translates better to YouTube as well. I don't really have a preference for playing. I just go backwards and forwards between them. But some people swear that colorful helps them spot stuff better. And, you know, me being the old power gamer, everyone likes to min-max. We've been min-maxing to our heart's content ever since we were a young lad. This... Red herring, I got carried away. Let's talk about stuff that can help. Now, this is a very different game to the other one, despite the fact that it ends at ruins, because we actually know where the enemy is, and there's only 2 of us left. Ruins is a tough place to go into for a final circle. You have a very hard time covering off on everyone. It is, oh God, that's a fairly solid shell, and lucky you moved on that one. It's got a lot of angles, and it's made all the merrier when there are 3 people, not 2 people left, as is the case in the game we're going to finish with. What you want to do in those kind of situations is, unlike this, where I've damaged him, so I'm pushing up. So he's either going to come out and fight me or he's going to repair, but not before I move up. What you want to do in those situations is use the game. It will feed you the information if you're careful and patient enough to be successful. And this is pretty much the same in any final circle scenario where there's 2 or 3 people left, where there's 3 or 4 people left. You don't want to be the guy that initiates contact if you can help it. There's a couple of reasons for that, but one, the main reason you're going to have a gunfight is it's either because you've seen the bad guy or the bad guy has seen you. Okay, that's how gunfights happen. You don't have gunfights with walls. You don't have gunfights with the ceiling. You have gunfights with targets. If you are moving in final circle and you get spotted by multiple targets, you're dead. Okay, so what you want to do is constantly set your angles up so that you can only really be shot from one direction. So I'm pretty sure that there's no one behind me to the southwest. I'm now looking to the northeast. I'm moving to this wall. I'm setting up, and then I stop and I watch the zone come in. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you'd know that I do that all the time. I watch the zone come in. I'm actually looking where I've been quite often rather than where I'm going to. But what I'm really hoping for here is a gunfight. Not for me, but from them. I'm hoping that someone isn't being as cautious as I am, that they've pushed right into the final circle. What I'm doing is I'm surfing that final circle in. And I'm going right on the edges and moving from cover to cover. You're going to see in a second that on the mini-map at the top right, there will pop some lines indicating that there is fire coming from the direct north and someone will go down. And that means that our last target is going to be up on top of that tower on the very, very northern edge of the zone line. So that gives me all the information I need to set up and get the kill. There it is. There's SSG Wrath takes someone out. He takes them out directly north. So I'm thinking they're right up there on top. And I'm just keeping an eye and overlooking that top area there as we push up. And now we're inside the circle and we get to make our own decisions, which is awesome. The problem with being on top is that if someone knows you're there and they set up for that eventuality, you tend to poke with your head. And when you poke with your head, you tend to get wrecked. And SSG Wrath has to come out to get the look, and we get the kill. So that's Disco Mountain and finishing Ruins. If you're going to finish Ruins and you're going to run around there, you're going to have to be very, very cautious. It's one of the tougher final circles in the game. If you've got a lot of people, if you've only got a couple of people, it can be one of the more friendly final circles in the game if you use your brain. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the channel. I hope you're enjoying the footage. I'm loving stuff. Remember to subscribe and like the videos. Share them with your friends. Tell the friends, tell the family. And as always, stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now.